Good morning, friends. In the earlier two videos, we have seen a story, A Bride Comes to Yellow Sky, written by Stephen Crane, an American writer. The present story in these videos, we have seen the introduction of the writer as well as plot outline of the story. In the second video, we have seen the characters of the story and also the symbol of the story. The last part we have to see today of the story, The Bride Comes to Yellow Sky, is a summary that is important from the point of view of student that today I am going to explain. See, the story begins with a train. In the train, both the main character, we can say one of the main character is Jack Potter. Jack Potter, he is there in the train with his newly bride. They are traveling from San Antonio to, means in San Antonio, Jack Potter just got married to that woman. Her name is not given throughout the story. She is just mentioned in the story as a new bride, not newly but new bride. See, so both of them are in the train. Train is going to leave. It leaves. It crosses the plain surface of the Texas, and then both of them as a newly bride just have changed their what we can say position in the society. They are not acquainted properly to each other. Now they are talking to each other, and what we can say, they also have they are not afraid but shivering. They are shy, and they are telling what we can say some peculiarities, we can say some unknown things to each other in the train. They also have observing all the what we can say passing by planes or areas in the Texas. Then what happened, there in the train a porter, and that porter mocked them. He tries to tease them. He was observing them because these both characters, Jack Potter and his newly bride, both of them are from a middle class, not from a lower class society. Now they are going to enter themselves in a middle class society, and they are traveling through the trains, what we can say nowadays a coach, sleeper coach, what we can say first class. In that way they are traveling Pullman passenger cars. It is a special coach for them. It is attractive. It has a bracelet, we can say not a bracelet but it has a shining, new shining, and they are traveling in that way. So such kind of a story, such kind of a summary this story has, that we are going to see today line by line. See, a train rushes west across the Texas plain. From the window, everything appears to be sweeping into the east. Train is moving from the west train is moving from the east towards the west, and we know west, one kind of area in America where all the workers, we can say a lower class society, are living, and what we can say, the east people, we are controlling them in many ways, at the level of culture, at the level of what we can say, at the level of culture, at the level of society, at the level of domination in education, in industry, economical level, and whatnot. So they are, what we can say, not exploiting but dominating to all the west people. So a train rushes west means it is going towards the west. See, there might be a question to you, what we can say, objective question in the exam. The train Pullman passenger in the story, the bride comes to yellow sky, is moving from and to, means from dash 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 and to, or just see, from west, east, none of the above, all of the above. So you should remember these things. So the train is going, rushing means going from the, going towards the west from the east. See, across the Texas plains. Texas, I have told you yesterday, is a state in America. From the window, means they are in the train, everything appears to be sweeping into the east. सर्व काही कुणीकडे जात आहे, ईस्ट कडे हळुवार निष्ठून जात आहे. फ्रॉम द mesquite and cactus, these are the words used by the writer in the story, mesquite and the cactus, to the small clumps of frame houses dotting the landscape. See, to the small clumps of frame houses dotting the landscape means when they are observing through the window the Texas plain area, at that time they have seen that areas, that we cannot say colonies, but that areas and that surface area, plain area, is moving towards the east, and the train is going fastly towards the west. See, again he has said mesquite and cactus. So these are the, we can say, the name of a tree, to small clumps of frame houses dotting the landscape. On that landscape, on that plain area, there are some houses, that is what we can say, like a tree, not a like a town, but they are like a, what we can say, in a rural area, uh, some house, means house is here, and then there is a what we can say, empty place, and again there is one house. So in that way, so frame houses dotting the landscape. See, the next point, traveling in one of the train's Pullman passenger cars is Jack Potter and his new bride. Who? In the Pullman passenger car, both Jack Potter, the main character of the story, and his bride, with whom he has just got married in the San Antonio. Here in the San Antonio. Okay, despite his weather beaten face and hands, Potter is dressed elegantly in new black clothes. See, what is the sentence? It shows whose, Potter's own class. Potter is a working man. Potter is a working man. That's why his weather beaten face and hands. weather beaten. There might be a what we can say a chilly and cold on that day. So beaten face and hands. Potter is dressed elegantly, means he has a party wear. Actually he is a what we can say a person who is just married to a woman. That's why he has a new and attractive dress, we can say new black clothes. He has a new black clothes, remember that also, a new black clothes. The bride is not particularly pretty. Okay, since see in the story the writer himself is saying so many things. Narrator is not, but he's saying that that woman is not so beautiful. She is not particularly pretty. Okay, or young. She also was not fully young, though she is dressed extravagantly in a dress of cashmere and velvet. She was not so young, she was not so pretty. Who? That bride. But she also has a good cashmere and velvet dress. See, cashmere and velvet dress, just you should go through the meaning of these words. During the train ride, means train was moving, she frequently looks at her puffy sleeves, which embarrass her, since she is a simple domestic woman. See, means about her writer is telling to us, she first time has worn such kind of elegant, we can say a beautiful and new dress she just have worn. So what happened, she always looking at her dress, she is what we can say enthusiastic, because she did not wear such kind of dresses before. Why? Because she is a simple, a domestic woman. She is a simple and domestic woman. Author have presented in the earlier point, we know she is not a beautiful, pretty, and also not a young. See, so such kind of woman she is. Potter and the bride. Bride means his wife. Potter, Jack Potter, are both thrilled to be riding in the train and look forward to have the finest meal in the world in the dining car. See, we know in the train everything is available. Both of them are enthusiastic, too much happy, because their condition is like that. They are traveling in a what we can say a sleeper coach, a luxurious compartment. They are traveling not in a general compartment but in a luxurious train compartment, and that's why they are enjoying their life. They are dreaming about their future and whatnot. So here, what about they are thinking, they are thinking about the meal. What will be there for the meal? It should be according to them a best one in the world. See, before they leave their coach to eat, means they leave their coach to eat, water excitedly points out all, means whatever there in that coach, in that compartment, Potter is pointing out and saying to all these things to his wife. The dazzling fittings of the coach, means fittings means the internal part of that compartment is very attractive to his new bride, to whom he is saying to his wife, and she drinks in the sea green figure velvet. See, and she drinks, she was observing everything, what we can say, very wholeheartedly. See, green figure velvet, and the wood that gleamed as darkly brilliant as the surface of a pool of oil. See, means in that compartment there is everything what we can say fascinated, properly decorated. We can say the furniture in that compartment, in that coach, is very attractive. The wood that gleam means a shine, as darkly brilliant as the surface of a pool of oil. So एखादं तेल चमकावे in that way. See, their excitement about the train is compounded by their excitement about their new marriage. See, they are just newly married, they are excited, and their excitement is also boosted by the decorative and what we can say decorative and attractive perception, not a perception, decorative and attractiveness of that compartment, which took place that very morning back in San Antonio. See, I have told you both of them are in San Antonio and they are moving from San Antonio to the yellow sky. See, the black porter, now he is a waiter in the train. The black porter observes Potter and the bride in amusement. This is the third character, who the porter. Black porter is a third character in this story. We have seen the earlier two, Jack Potter and the bride. Her name is not given in the story. The third character author have introduced here is the black porter, who is serving in the train in amusement, thinking them ridiculous in their wonder and obvious inexperience. See, he is ridiculing them. Who? That black waiter or porter who is serving in the train. He is ridiculing them because he identified the class of these both newly married person. He also identified that they are not adjusting themselves in such a luxurious compartment. They are not adjusting themselves in a, what we can say, dining table also, because they are from a common society. They are from a what we can say a lower class community, and now they are going to acquire, they are going to achieve a middle class culture, and that's why they are hesitated, they are ridiculous, they are behaving what we can say in a different way. So that things have observed by that waiter or the black porter in the story, and he was ridiculing, mocking, teasing, and what we can say every time regularly observing them. To whom? To that both newly married couple. As he serves the couple, the porter server servant subtly makes fun of them. See, he was making fun of them while other passengers glance at the couple with stares of derisive enjoyment. See, means there are so many passengers in that compartment, and when they are moving from here and there, they are observing that couple with a what we can say a derisive enjoyment, with a scornful glance, we can say, with a ridiculous, with a ridiculous way. Why? Because through the behavior of this couple, anyone can understand that they are not properly adjusting to this compartment, to this culture and whatnot. Okay, so that thing we can understand when we read the story. See, the next point, the couple make their way to the dining car. Dining car means in another compartment where a dining tables are there for a meal, where several black black waiters wearing glowing white suits await them. Means that porter, means only one servant, black servant was not there, but there were so many servants in the dining room, and they are serving to all the passengers. And when this couple goes there, they are waiting for this couple. One of the waiters steers them through every step of the meal. Means when they are eating, taking a every step, at that time some of the waiter or a few of them are observing them and trying to teasing them. So when this waiter observe them, they feel what we can say suffocated. They never feel free. They are shying, thriving in that way, shivering. The waiter is merely doing his job, but his ordinary difference impresses Potter and the bride, who are not used to such a refined dining experience. Yes, that I am going to tell you, who that Potter and the woman, both of them from the working class, and so that they are not adjusting themselves to this, what we can say, a higher class cultural position of taking a meal, so that they are feeling suffocated. They are not feeling free, and that's why what happened, there might be we cannot say, otherwise we cannot say there should be a proper manners and etiquettes. Every human being has its manners and etiquettes, and as in that way they also have, but it is the way of presenting the by the author to show the difference between two classes. Okay, and that's why that author or narrator is saying in this way. After the couple finish their meal, they return to their coach. Jack Potter looks out the window and notices the Rio Grande, which which apex at the town of Yellow Sky. Okay, he becomes noticeably restless at the thought of reaching the town and feels the shadow of a deed weighing on him like a leaden slab. See, like a leaden slab. He becomes noticeably restless. Who? That Jack Potter. Become restless at the thought of reaching the town and feels the shadow of a deed weighing on him like a leaden slab. He is in fact the Marshal of Yellow Sky, a man known, liked, and feared, and he worries that the residents may take offense at his decision to get married in San Antonio without first consulting anyone in the town. So, what are these 2 points? In these 2 points, we come to know that Jack Potter is a marshal in his own town. The name of his town is Yellow Sky, and they were traveling from the train, and when he notices the Rio Grande, which apexes at the town of Yellow Sky, so at that time he remember what will happen when he will reach in his own town, how the people will respond him, how people will think about him, because he suddenly got the married, and he did not convey this news to anyone. As a marshal, it is his duty, and his people will think otherwise about him. So, in that way, he was in worried. Okay, see, in this sentence, he has used what he feels. He becomes noticeably restless at the thought of reaching the town. Which town? That Yellow Sky, his own town. And he feels what he feels, the shadow of a deed. What deed? Means he has just married to that woman and he didn't convey that message to anyone in his own town. That's why that deed, that work, that activity, Sauli, the shadow of a deed, weighing on him like laden slab. सी म्हणजे काहीतरी बर्डन वज काय होईल तिथे गेल्यावर इन दॅट वे ही इज थिंकिंग ही इज इन फॅक्ट द मार्शल ऑफ येल्लो स्काय who was he is a marshal of yellow sky town. See the second phrase writer has used about him, a man known, liked and feared. What kind of a person Jack Potter is? Jack Potter is a man of known, liked and feared in his own town Yellow Sky, and he worries that the residents may take offense at his decision to get married in San Antonio without first consulting anyone in the town. What was his problem? What he was worrying? He was worrying that the residents, means the people in Yellow Sky, his, what we can say, companion, his relatives, his friend and all others who know him in that Yellow Sky may take offense. They may blame Jack Potter. Why? Because his decision to get married in San Antonio. In San Antonio, suddenly he get married. And he never consult, never tell about this deed or incident or decision to anyone in his town. So that he was worried. See, although Potter knows that he has not broken any official rules, he is so devoted to the town that he feels like a traitor to the feelings of Yellow Sky. See, he was worried, but till he was thinking that his marriage is not any, what we can say, violation of Yellow Sky rules. He has not broken any official rules of that town, of that community, of that people. And he knows that he is fully devoted to his people, he is fully devoted to his town, to the welfareness of his town. And that's why anything wrong from him is not good. He thought the wrong means a traitor, Deshdrohi, to the feelings of Yellow Sky. See, he imagines how, if he had informed the town of his marriage, the town's brass band would play alongside a cheering crowd to welcome himself and the bride back to Yellow Sky. He was thinking, it was his imagination, it was his dream about his own town people. He was thinking that if he would have conveyed the message of his marriage to his town people, then these people could have arranged, what we can say, the grand welcome with brass band and so many things to him and his wife. Instead, he resolves to slink off the train unnoticed to take the bride to his adobe home. Meanwhile, the bride notices that Potter is worried, but Potter tells her he is only thinking of Yellow Sky. Means his worries notices by his wife, but he did not tell the reality to her. What he said that he was only thinking about his own town and not what we can say nothing else. The train arrives at the station in yellow sky, and the porter announces that Potter's home is nearby. See, when the rain reached there, when the rain reached there, the train arrives at the station in yellow sky, and the porter means the servant, a coolie announces that Jack's home is nearby. Then the coolie brushes off Jack's suit and hands him his bag. And Jack clumsily gives the coolie a coin. See, coolie means potter, porter. The station agent notices that Potter has arrived and welcomes the marshal excitedly. Potter responds with a hangdog glance and a nervous laugh. Hangdog glance means he was not what we can say happy as usual because he was feeling bad. The reason is that he married to the unknown lady without conveying this message to his own people, and that's why he is nervous when he reach in his own town. As he and the bride head to the marshal's home, the porter chuckles behind them. Porter means that coolie chuckles behind them. He was observing them from the behind. See, inside the town means they reach in the town watering hole. Inside the town watering hole, the very gentleman saloon are six men, a drummer who is new to the town, who was there, a drummer, three Texans, three people from the Texas, and two Mexican shepherds sit at the bar. Very gentleman saloon मध्ये there were six people. One was a drummer, he is new in that town. Three Texican people, Texas people, and two Mexican shepherds were there, and they were in the bar. In front of the door, the barkeeper's dog lays lazily on the boardwalk. Barkeeper's dog was there in front of the door. Across the sandy street from the saloon are vivid green grass plots. See, what was there means the description of that bar is presented here in this story to give the meaning, or what we can say the theme, to the what we can say naturalism, then realism and romanticism. So, vivid green grass plots that resemble grass mats used to represent lawns on the stage. See, where are these things? These things are there in the what we can say bar, in that bar. Circling the town, the fresh cut bank of the Rio Grande gives way to a great plum colored plain of mesquite. The town is largely placid and asleep, save for the patrons in the very gentleman. See, very gentleman is a name of a saloon. There is a bar, Rio Grande, that is also one of the name of the hotel in that in that yellow sky. The drummer regales the other patrons with fantastic tales until a young man enters the saloon and proclaims that Scratchy Wilson is drunken and turned loose with both hands. See, the drummer was talking. He was telling and asking to the barkeeper, but he stopped. When he stopped, when one young person comes and he was telling about Scratchy Wilson, who has the gun, who is drunkard, and who will shoot to anyone. This news causes the two Mexican shepherds. There were two Mexican shepherds, and they are afraid to lower their glasses and quietly slip out the saloon's back entrance. They ran away from the saloon's back entrance, while the remaining patrons become instantly solemn. All of them now become silent. They have closed the door of that, what we can say, bar, and they hide themselves in the bar because they are afraid of Scratchy Wilson. Scratchy Wilson is another person in that yellow sky who is behaving like a marshal, who just have lost his position of marshalship, and who now the that Jack Potter is the marshal, and he tries to achieve that position. That's why he what we can say, a outlaw person who make terrified activity in the town to afraid the townspeople. So the perplexed drummer wonders about the chapel like gloom that descends upon the saloon. Chapel like gloom that descends upon the saloon. He watches as the barkeeper locks. What he locks? He locks the door, then bars the door and pulls down the saloon's heavy window shutters. He has closed the shutter. The young man tells him, for the next 2 hours, this town won't be a health resort. What that young man is telling, who has given the news of that Scratchy Wilson, he is telling that for next few hours or 2 hours, that in this town there might be happen anything. He can kill to anyone or he can do anything. In that way he is telling, who, that young man. When the drummer asks if this portends a shootout, another patron warns that there will most certainly be some good shooting, while the young man guarantees that a fight is coming. The drummer's curiosity piques. He asks again the name of the man who is causing so much fear, and the patrons answer in chorus, Scratchy Wilson. Who is that person? A Scratchy Wilson. See, the drummer unleashes a barrage of questions about Scratchy Wilson. Means he has so many questions about the Scratchy Wilson. Will he kill anybody? Can he break down the door? The barkeeper replies that Wilson has failed to break down the door before, but he wants the drummer to get low, as Wilson is certain to try to shoot his way into the saloon as the drummer lies on the floor. The other patrons insist that Wilson is out to shoot and out for trouble. So means Wilson was doing all these activities. He is not afraid. He has shoot so many times to the barkeeper. See, only Jack Potter can stop Wilson, the patrons claim. Who is Jack Potter? We know he is the marshal. They tell the drummer that Potter is the town marshal who goes out and fights Scratchy when he gets on one of these tiers. But unfortunately, Potter is in San Antonio. Means who is that drummer is telling everything to whom? To the sorry, that person who barkeepers, and that young man is telling everything to the drummer, and through the discussion of these people we come to know the nature of both, one Jack Potter and also the Cratchy Wilson. So they are telling to drummer he is not here. Who? Jack Potter is not here in Yellow Sky. He is there in San Antonio. The chatter in the saloon dampens down to mere whispering, still flush with questions, born of an increasing anxiety and bewilderment. The drummer waits in silence for Wilson to arrive. The drummer waits in silence for Wilson to arrive. The barkeeper pours a full glass of whiskey for a patron who promptly gulps it down, then takes up a Winchester rifle and motions for the drummer to hide behind the bar. See, the barkeeper pours a full glass of whiskey for a patron who promptly gulps it down, then takes up a Winchester rifle and motions for the drummer to hide behind the bar. See, they are doing all this kind of activity. They are drinking and taking the rifle and whatnot. The barkeeper tells the drummer that Scratchy Wilson is a wonder with a gun and the last one of the old gang that hung around the river. See, he is the last one of the old gang, the gang who threatens the what we can say, that Yellow Sky people. So this person is the last one, and who will fight against him? Only Jack Potter will fight against him. But Jack Potter is not here in the Yellow Sky. Jack Potter is there in the San Antonio, and that's why this Scratchy Wilson is doing such kind of thing here in the Yellow Sky. As the barkeeper laments that Jack Potter is not in town to deal with Wilson, he hears a shoot in the distance, followed by several wild yells. Scratchy Wilson is heading towards the saloon. Scratchy Wilson is heading towards the saloon. He is coming towards the saloon. Who listen it? The barkeeper listen it. Scratchy Wilson rounds a corner and struts right into Yellow Sky's main street. For decoration, he wears a maroon flannel shirt made by Jewish women on New York's east side, while his red top boots with gilded imprints invokes sledding boys from New England. See, this is the what we can say physical description of that Cratchy Wilson given by the writer in the story. Brandishing a revolver in each hand, Wilson whoops and hollers into the night, but only silence responds. He talks the town's windows and doorways like a midnight cat in search of prey, but hears only his own yells echoing through the night. There is no offer of fight from anyone. He was, as a drunken, he was saying anything on the street, but no one is there to respond him. Only his echoes are responding to him. So in that way, incensed at the lack of attention he receives in the street, Scratchy turns towards the very gentleman, where he confronts the barkeeper's dozing dog. Means barkeeper's dog was there, he was dozing. The dog, who had not appreciated the advance of events, gets up and walks away until Wilson's yells inspire the animal to gallop. Scratchy makes sport of the dog's fear, forcing the poor animal to dodge multiple bullets before it scurries out. See, having finished tormenting the dog, Scratchy Wilson hammers the saloon's door with his revolver and demands a drink. Unable to break down the door, he sticks a piece of paper into it with a knife, then fires at the paper from across the street. He barely misses, and acting as if sensing that only Jack Potter can give him the fight he craves, Scratchy Wilson heads towards the marshal's house, chanting epic scalp music. When he arrives at the adobe dwelling, Wilson howls out multiple challenges mingled with wonderful epithets, but hears nothing in return. After churning himself into deepest rage over the immobility of a house, Scratchy pauses to reload his guns. While Scratchy Wilson rails outside Jack Potter's house, Potter and the bride walk sheepishly and with speed in the direction of Potter's dwelling. As they round the corner, they come face to face with Wilson, who keeps loading one revolver in order to draw and aim another one straight at the bridegroom's chest. Potter reacts coolly, dropping his bag to face Wilson while the bride's face yellows, leaves her a slave to hideous rites. As the two men face each other down at 3 paces apart, Scratchy Wilson accuses Jack Potter of plotting an ambush and warns his antagonist not to reach for his gun. He tells Potter that the time has come to settle with him, but Potter responds that he is unarmed. As he confronts Wilson, the image of the Pullman rail car fills Potter's mind, evoking thoughts of green velvet, silver brass, glass, and gleaming wood, all the glory of the marriage and the environment of the new estate. See, a flustered Wilson accuses Potter of lying about his weapon and claims there aren't a man in Texas who has not seen Potter without a gun. Potter insists again that he is unarmed and dares Wilson to shoot him, adding that Wilson will never get a chance like this again. Perplexed, Wilson again asks Potter why he does not have a gun. Potter informs Wilson that he is unarmed because he just returned from San Antonio with his new bride. However, had he known there would be galoots like Wilson prowling about when he brought the bride home, Potter says he would certainly have brought his gun. Potter's marriage leaves Scratchy dumbfounded as he glimpses the drooping, drowning woman at Potter's side. Wilson is like a creature allowed a glimpse of another world. He asks if this is the lady that Potter married, to which the marshal answers affirmatively. Married. Wilson exclaims multiple times before deciding, it's all off now. Potter responds that the shootout is only off if Scratchy deems it so. Still perplexed, Cratchy is left, a simple child of the earlier plains, who is unaccustomed to the foreign condition of Jack's marriage. A deflated Scratchy Wilson puts his revolver back into their holster and walks away. As he walks off, his boots leave funnel shaped prints in the sand. The train so this is the summary of this what we can say a short story, and we come to know the condition of the short story and the character also. So thank you.